Coming up, a joint retirement annuity is planned to be introduced in Kazakhstan. Who will be allowed to pool pension savings? Find out in our news material. The EAEU is set to keep expanding the free trade zone with third countries. What are the ambitious plans of the Union? Watch next. Emir Kusturica will shoot a film about the Golden Horde in Kazakhstan. Stay tuned. Over the 30 years of Kazakhstan's independence, the US has invested $37 billion in the domestic economy. Thus, the US is currently one of the largest investors in Kazakhstan, second only to the Netherlands. Issues related to the development of bilateral cooperation were discussed today at the meeting of the Commission for Expanded Strategic Partnership between Kazakhstan and the US. According to Deputy Foreign Minister Akan Rahmetulin, more than 560 companies with US capital are successfully operating in Kazakhstan. He stated that the country intends to continue to maintain the high pace of mutual political and economic contacts with the US. For the most part, the parties focused on discussing the prospects for further multilateral partnership. The agenda covers a wide range of issues, including interactions in the field of global, regional security, cooperation in the field of law enforcement, climate change, educational exchange. Jointly with the US partners, we agreed that the C5+1 dialogue is an important tool for strengthening cooperation with the countries in the region to ensure the sustainable development in Central Asia. The Eurasian Economic Union intends to further expand the free trade zone with third countries. Ties have already been established with Vietnam, Iran, Serbia and Singapore to remove trade barriers. Negotiations are well underway with Egypt, Israel and India. It's also planned to explore the markets of Indonesia and Mongolia. If trade agreements are signed with these countries, the free trade zone will cover a market with a population of around 2 billion people and the gross domestic product will reach $5 trillion. At the moment, the GDP of the EAEU countries has approached $750 billion. Kazakhstan is set to introduce a joint retirement annuity for married couples and close relatives, announced chairperson of the Kazakh Agency for Regulation and Development of Financial Market Madina Abulkasimova today at a meeting of the Majlis, the lower house of the Kazakh parliament. The new law, according to which Kazakh citizens will be able to pool pension savings, was approved by Majlismen in the first reading. If one spouse does not have enough pension savings to purchase the retirement annuity and the other has a surplus, then the joint retirement annuity will allow them receiving lifetime benefits. The retirement annuity in Kazakhstan decreased significantly this year. In order to purchase it, men should save up to 6.7 million tenge, women 9 million tenge. Annuity payments are made by a life insurance company every month throughout life with indexation every year. That's the annual growth of at least 5%.
The capacity of the Shymkent oil refinery can increase up to 12 million tons of oil products per year. After the largest refinery modernization in history, which lasted 5 years, the enterprise increased the depth of oil refining. The oil giant now has the most state-of-the-art equipment. The plant produces Euro 4 and Euro 5 gasoline and diesel fuel. After a major restructuring, the new aim of Kazakh oil workers is to increase production capacity.
Основным результатом всей модернизации является
The main result of the entire modernization is an increase in the oil refining depth from 73 to 88%, as well as an increase in the yield of light oil products. The aim of modernization was not only to increase the depth of processing, but also to make it more environmentally friendly. Emissions have been significantly reduced. We adhere to the concept of the green economy of Kazakhstan. Our plant strives to maximize energy conservation. The enterprise is operating at full capacity due to the successful partnership of two national operators, Kazmunaygas and CNPC, the China National Petroleum Corporation. Next year will mark 25 years of CNPC activity in Kazakhstan and 30 years since the establishment of diplomatic relations between Kazakhstan and China. Today, I feel more than confident stating that our comprehensive and everlasting strategic partnership has entered a new phase. The fourth oil refinery in Kazakhstan is planned to be built on the basis of the Shymkent refinery.
488 coronavirus cases were detected in Kazakhstan in the past 24 hours. The highest daily case count was registered in Karaganda region. 74 people caught the infection there. 73 patients tested positive for COVID-19 in North Kazakhstan region. Pavlodar region came third with 65 infected. Since the beginning of the pandemic, the total number of coronavirus cases confirmed in the country has exceeded 980,000. Meanwhile, at the Kazakh Health Ministry reported more than 20,000 people continue to receive treatment for COVID-19 to date. 3,000 out of them are in hospitals. The coronavirus vaccination campaign is well underway in Kazakhstan. 8,323,469 people have been immunized with two components of the vaccine. Two out of 5 patients infected with coronavirus have no symptoms of the disease, concluded scientists of the Peking University after conducting 95 studies which involved more than 29 million people. According to the researchers, these patients mainly did not seek medical assistance and could not be detected by temperature screening. Almost all of them were found either during mass testing in narrow risk groups or when monitoring contacts of the already infected ones. In the meantime, the number of cases of the new variant of coronavirus keeps growing globally.
77 countries have now reported cases of Omicron, and the reality is that Omicron is probably in most countries, even if it hasn't been detected yet. Omicron is spreading at a rate we have not seen with any previous variant. We're concerned that people are dismissing Omicron as mild.
Africa sees an 83% surge in new coronavirus cases, detecting almost 200,000 infected people in the past week. This was reported by the regional office of the World Health Organization. The total cumulative number of COVID-19 cases is approaching 10 million. At the same time, it will take until the second half of 2024 before Africa reaches 70% coverage of the population with vaccines, epidemiologists estimate. Around 60 people were killed, over 100 were injured in a fuel truck explosion in the northern coastal city of Cap Haitian, Haiti. The truck is believed to have overturned after the driver tried to avoid hitting a motorcycle. The fuel tank was damaged in the accident. Passers-by began scooping up petrol, but at that moment the truck exploded. Almost 20 buildings were damaged by the blast. People are now being looked for under their rubbles. The number of deaths is expected to increase. The development of the financial market, new ways of sustainable economic and trade growth, as well as smart systems and digital opportunities in the world's megacities. These are the main topics discussed by the delegates of the Second International Congress G Global, World of the 21st Century. According to the speakers, the capital of Kazakhstan is currently one of the brightest examples of such smart cities, which is implementing the unique project Digital Twin.
Цифровой двойник города на текущий момент оцифрован полностью на 100%. Что такое цифровой?
The digital twin of the city is now 100% digitized. What is the digital twin of our capital? First of all, it is a 3D and 2D digitization of the whole city, including all land plots and all engineering networks. It is the planning of traffic, construction, architecture, and interaction with nature. At the moment, our digital twin has more than 80 layers of data.
В текущий момент у нас в цифровом двойнике более 80 слоев данных.
The event was dedicated to the 30th anniversary of Kazakhstan's independence and the 10th anniversary of the international project G Global. Presentation of Nizami Ganjavi art album and exhibition took place in the Museum of the Library of the first President of Kazakhstan. The event, dedicated to the 880th anniversary of the great Azerbaijani philosopher and one of the famous poets of the medieval East, was organized by the international organization Turksoy. A series of similar photo albums was previously released in honor of Abay Kunanbayulu, Chingiz Aytmatov and Oljas Suleymenov.
Biz Nizami Ganjavi'de жалғыз Azerbaycan философы Азербайжан ақыны деп.
We believe that Nizami Ganjavi is a philosopher not only of Azerbaijan but of the entire Turkic world. In this anniversary year, we held various conferences, exhibitions and published books in his honor. This album is part of a series of books. It contains the works of artists of the Turkic world who were able to convey the Nizami works on their canvases. There are plans to present the album both in Europe and America.
Сондықтан бұдан кейінгі де біздің шараларымызда осы альбомды біз Европа мен Америкаға да таратуға тырысамыз.
The art album includes over 100 photo reproductions. The paintings were created by famous artists based on the works of Nizami himself. In addition, the edition is supplemented with quotes from the philosopher's poems. The photo album was first presented in the capital of Azerbaijan. Organizers are now planning to present it in Vienna, Austria. The National Museum of Kazakhstan received a unique exhibit as a special gift for the 30th anniversary of the country's independence. The 8th golden man found in the Taskopa Mount is displayed in the main exhibition hall of the country. This is a Sarmatian leader who lived in the 4th-3rd centuries BC. After 2 years of continuous work having studied the finds from the Taskopa burial ground in Aktobe region, scientists have established that the remains found belonged to a person of authority of that time. The specialists started restoring the image of the historical figure. During the scientific reconstruction, his original clothes, weapons, and an exact copy of almost 4,000 gold jewelry pieces were recreated. The specialists emphasized that they made the warrior's face as realistic, as close as possible to the characteristics of the people of that era. Visitors can see the golden man in one of the golden halls of the museum.
Бізде мақсат болды басқаларына ұқсамау керек. Ол ерекше болу керек. Өйткені
We had a goal. We wanted this golden man to look different from the previous exhibits, be special because this will remain in history. Therefore, after going through all the sketches, we stopped at this. We sat him down like he was coming back from a big battle. He has a sword and a Kazakh whip. We try to show that this is a great person. I think we did it. Many people say that it feels like he is alive. It was a lot of work. It was not easy to do using fiber.
адамды отырғызып қойған ма деп. Өйткені ана көзін, талшығын барлығын келтіру деген біз қолмен әрқайсысы инемен келтіріп отырдық.
Collectible coins тәуелсіз Kazakhstanға 30 жыл will soon be released into circulation, the National Bank of Kazakhstan reports. Silver coins with denominations of 5,500 tenge and copper nickel coins with denominations of 100 tenge continue the outstanding events and people series. Their design reflects a symbolic connection with the first series of banknotes of the 1993 model of the independent Kazakhstan, which depicts portraits of prominent historical figures. The composition completes the visual portrait series and logically marks the anniversary milestone in the history of the country. A photo exhibition dedicated to the 30th anniversary of Kazakhstan's independence opened in China. The pictures feature 3 decades, including periods of formation, strengthening of statehood, economic growth, and in-depth development of the sovereign country. The melodies of Dombra and Kobyz gave the color to the event, immersing visitors into the atmosphere of the Kazakh steppe. Kazakhstan has made a remarkable progress over 30 years of independence. Today, at the exhibition, we were able to see the entire glorious path of formation and development. Next year, we will celebrate the 30th anniversary of diplomatic relations. We expect our countries to further strengthen cooperation, including the interaction of young people who can put their efforts and energy into the deepening the ties of friendship between China and Kazakhstan. A film about the Golden Horde will be directed by filmmaker Emir Kusturica. Shooting is planned to take place in Kazakhstan in 2022. This was announced during the online conference of the 3rd Festival of Kazakh Films. According to Yesejan Kosubayev, chairman of the board of State Center for Support of National Cinema, this will be quite limited in budget and rich in content historical films oriented to the international market.